what are we doing to engage the young people and get them active in our democracy? One of the things that we're doing is heavily relying on social media and going to events like this. But my party is actually based on the very simple idea of approaching policy rather from an ideological standpoint. We're actually looking at starting a conversation. That's why we stage the big listens.
The question I've been asked is, what is the Liberal Party doing to engage younger voters, like next-gen voters? And it's a good question, because that is a group of people that hasn't traditionally been engaged. What I'm doing, and I can talk about what I'm doing, is that I think next gens are particularly not very interested in party politics. And I try not to stress that as I work and engage people in the stuff that I do.
Over the past 33 years, this province has given so much to me, and I'd like to give something back and be basically a giver, not a taker.
And I know the issues across Canada. So when you scrutinize legislation from the House of Commons, I will know how to affect individuals and can make amendments to the legislation if needed.
I think that Senate reform is very important. Alberta is a leader in Senate reform by holding these Senate nominee elections. And I think that it's really important for there to be an alternative choice on the ballot for voters.
And I think the PC Party is engaging youth voters by getting involved in social media. The party's really making use of Facebook and Twitter this election. But I think the biggest thing that we're doing is we're appealing to what young people want to see. And I think they're looking for people who represent them. They're looking for a government that understands their concerns and their views. And that's why you see so many young people involved as candidates in the party this time.
And I believe that the Senate should be elected, not appointed. The issue of Senate reform has been on the back burners for the last number of years, and I think it's important that it gets back on the table, that we can start discussing it again.
I decided to run in this election because there's far too much partisanship in Canadian politics and federal politics these days. That's one important reason. And the other important reason is the Senate does a lot of really crucial policy work on issues like sexual orientation, the review of the anti-terrorism legislation. The Senate has played a very important legislative role in our lives, and I think we want people who know something about policy to do that job for us.
Our party is engaging young voters by, first of all, encouraging young candidates. Over 50% of our party is under the age of 40 years of age. 50% is over. So this, I think, proportionally is a pretty high percentage.
We have a strong presence on Facebook and all the social media. So that's where you attract young voters, I think.
And of course, there's a lot of things that we are doing right now to engage youth. It's about going out and meeting the youth, not just assuming that they're going to get involved, but actually getting them involved. Of course, we're doing amazing things like visiting schools, getting involved in our community. Not just one section of the community, but all of the community. Visiting the First Nation communities, the Somali communities, the Uganda communities that exist in the downtown area.